Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name is Imogen, and in today's video I want to talk to those of my subscribers who are particularly lonely. This was a requested video, so if you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that because I put out great content like this every day. Follow me on Instagram and give this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. So I want to talk about loneliness because it is a big problem, and I don't want to say in our society, but in our society it is a big problem. And I think the first thing to think about is, why are you lonely? Is it because you feel unloved or unwanted, or is it that you're not comfortable with your own company? Because I see a lot of people who are like they have a sort of an anxious attachment style, and they feel like they fear being alone because they think it means that they're unloved, they're unwanted, that nobody will ever want to hang out with them or date them or be friends with them. And this sort of stems from low self-esteem. You've probably heard this before, but like I've had this too, so I understand, and I'm completely speaking from experience. And sometimes it does absolutely come from, I don't have enough socialising in my life, I feel unloved, I feel unwanted, people are being mean to me, that kind of thing. But sometimes it is a lack of self-esteem and like feeling like you have to fill every single moment with a social interaction, otherwise you are worthless. And if this is you, I promise you that is not the case. You are not worthless, and I actually made a video on how to enjoy your alone time, so if I remember I'll link it. But a lot of the tips in that video really helped me in enjoying like my alone time a lot more and being a lot more content with my own company. The next thing I would say is look for fewer but better relationships. So I actually, again, not to be a shameless plug here, but like I made a video on how I met all of my closest friends, or like some of my closest friends, and I will link that as well. But like the main tip I said in that video was like, it's a lot, but like, be yourself. But to be honest, I would expand on that by saying like, do the activities you want to do, join the clubs you want to join, learn the things you want to learn, and you will meet people of the same interests. If you try and hide who you are for the sake of making a friend, then likely that person is not going to like you for who you actually are, because you're not showing them who you actually are. Like, they're going to go off what they know about you, and if you like pretend to like something and they're like, oh my gosh, I found someone who likes X, and then it turns out that you actually don't like X and you're getting really frustrated because you don't have anyone who actually enjoys your personality because you like a Y, you know? So what I'm trying to say is, do you, and the right people will come, and these people will reach out to you without you always having to be the one to do it. Like, a complaint I hear a lot about loneliness is I'm always the one reaching out, like my friends never reach out to me, I'm always the one who has to talk, or we would never talk. And if this is the case, then these people aren't putting in the effort for you, and maybe you need to start giving them the same energy back that they're giving to you, because do you really always want to be the one reaching out? No, I mean, nobody wants that, and that's a big cause of loneliness because it makes you feel unwanted and it makes you feel unloved. So when you start finding people who really connect with you, they will start reaching out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be all the time, right? Like, not necessarily every day. Like, you're not a bad friend if you don't reach out to all your friends every day. Like, but if you're making an effort at least sometimes, then that's fine, right? Basically, what I'm saying is do whatever you want and they will like you for who you are. I mean, assuming you don't stay in your room non-stop for your entire life. But even then, like, I'm a massive introvert and I have some really close and very good friends. And you can find friends online. Like, I've met a couple of my friends online. It happens, and it is, like, it's a good place to meet people for sort of, like, niche interests, or, like, if you're, like, into something that someone else, like, you've got a common interest but not a lot of people in your area share that interest, there will be an online community and you'll probably find some really good friends there. The next thing I want to say is take some kind of class. If you're not in university or college, then there's a lot of like probably either online courses you can take or just probably offline courses. There's loads of stuff online, so I won't burden you by going through all of the options, but I often find that the people who love to learn are the most interesting and make the best friends. Like, if you and I, like, if you're watching this video and we're close friends, like, you are probably some flavour of nerd, and that is the highest compliment I can give, like, genuinely, because I am also kind of a nerd, and I'm really proud of that, because, like, people who love to learn are interesting, because they're always curious and they're always looking at, like, for new things. So look for people who love to learn, take some kind of class, and take a class in something you're interested in, or something you want to know more about. Like, the thirst for, like, education and the thirst for new knowledge is something that's really attractive in, like, personal relationships, be they platonic or romantic. Also, the next thing I want you to do is practice some self-compassion. Just because you're lonely or because you feel like nobody wants to be your friend, that does not make you worthless. So stop with the negative self-talk that I know is going through your head right now, because it goes through mine. Understand that it's absolutely okay to feel lonely at times. Lonely is just an emotion. Like, angry is an emotion, sad is an emotion, happy is an emotion. These are all emotions, and emotions are valid. Like, they're neutral. You know? Like, there's nothing morally good or bad about an emotion. Because you're lonely, it doesn't make you a bad person. Like, it doesn't mean that you have any less value than anyone else. So, like, some of the people who've achieved the most in society have been really lonely. I mean, you look at any historical figure, and whether they've been sort of isolated because they're, like, the leader of something, or they're isolated because no one else agrees with them. Like, I think a lot of celebrities, honestly, the people that we look up to are very isolated and probably often quite lonely. So loneliness is not by any means an isolated phenomenon to just you. It really doesn't diminish your worth. The next thing I want to say, this kind of goes back to the sort of learn stuff point, but, like, be an interesting person. Always have something to talk about. So I like to have a few projects on the go at one time. So when someone asks me, oh, what do you do? I can talk about, like, my internship or my degree or my job, or, like, I can go into my favourite band if you are interested in, like, a 5-hour lecture, or I can say I talk about my YouTube channel. So there's a lot of different things. Or I can say that I play D&D. So have a few interesting, like, side projects that you can talk about. And the flip side of that is learn to listen, because people love to talk about themselves. If you're a good listener, I guarantee that your friends will love you. However, like, slight word of caution here, some people just use other people to sort of vent to about their problems and then never give anything back. So don't be trodden on, but yeah, learn to be a good listener, but also you deserve to be listened to as well. Go to therapy. I say this in every video, but go to therapy. If you found that therapy hasn't been helpful for you, maybe consider whether the therapist was right for you, maybe consider whether the type of therapy was right for you, because there are a lot of different types of therapy, believe me. Therapy really helped me. Take that with a pinch of salt, maybe. Get a pet. I love this recommendation. If your living situation allows, get yourself a pet. I have had, my favourite pet, the only pet I was able to cuddle was a hamster that I had when I was 17 to 19. And yeah, unfortunately he died during my year 12 exams in the pandemic, which was bad timing, but he was the cuddliest little guy, and he just sort of saved my mental health, kind of, because I'd cuddle him, and I was sitting on my bed one time, and I was, like, reading something, and I had, like, my hamster on my chest, and I was just, like, I was getting caught up in my book, and then I was like, where's he gone? Shit. And I sort of started looking around, and he'd, like, burrowed into my armpit, and he was just asleep in there, and I just thought it was the cutest moment ever. So anyway, I just felt like I've got this little furry companion, and he feels safe enough with me to just sort of chill there, even though I'm, like, big and clumsy, and I would, like, and I'm really heavy and stuff, but, like, he was just chilling there, and that honestly felt really heartwarming. So if you can get a pet, like, they will love you, but obviously take care of them properly, because there is nothing worse than someone who doesn't take care of their pets. Anyway, work out. I always say this, I rarely do it, but, like, it does increase your endorphins. It's probably going to make you feel more confident in being by yourself. It's a great activity to do while you're by yourself, because, especially, like, for me, I don't like other people watching me work out, because I look sweaty, and I don't like people watching me, like, be, like, sweaty and, like, working out. I don't like that. So it's a really good thing to do on your own, and also, while you work out, you can listen to music, and that also gets, like, your endorphins up, it increases your dopamine, so get, like, some music, get a workout, and it will make you feel better about spending time on your own. Also, the next thing that I want to talk about, well, kind of just like a little conclusion to this video, I think, is know that this is a phase. I promise you will not be lonely for your entire life. It may feel like a really long time. I know that, like, in the summer of 2020, I mean, I was not seeing anyone. I was very lonely. And I remember writing in my journal at the time, like, I don't think this is ever going to end. But it did, and here I am, and I have, like, wonderful friends. So know that this is a phase. It is a phase, and even if you're putting all of your effort in and you still feel lonely, that's normal, and again, it doesn't diminish your self-worth. Like, you are genuinely enough, and I promise you are wonderful. You're a wonderful person. And if you are like self-aware enough to be analysing the causes behind your loneliness, then you are definitely self-aware enough to like improve yourself as a person. I mean, otherwise, why the hell are you watching a self-improvement YouTube channel? You know? So what I'm saying is that like you definitely have the qualities necessary to be a good friend or partner or whatever. And if you're taking time to actively develop those qualities, I promise you're not going to be alone forever. Like, this is genuinely a phase, and know that you are wonderful, and I think so, and therefore you are not alone. Alright, that's all for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe, of course. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye!